Hi guys, in this video we're going to show you how to use Website Spam Finder. So this is a free desktop application that will scan each page on your website for content that could have been maliciously injected into your website by hackers. So that's content such as spammy gambling content or adult themed content or injected links that point to spammy websites or a 301 or meta tag redirect from your pages to spammy websites, or Chinese and Russian content, and just generally spammy, hacky things that you wouldn't want on your website. So before we do that, please remember to check out the Rocket Guest Posting database. Rocket Guest Posting is the world's largest searchable collection of websites that accept guest posters, along with all their key SEO metrics and their contact details. We normally have a free demo or trial, so please check that out. So let's go through some of the settings here. So first of all, you put your website in here, pretty simple. Some stats, it'll show you the amount of pages crawled. It'll show you any possible issues that we found. If you have the option to check external links, it will show you how many external links we've checked, and this will show you here how long the application's been running for. So we've got two options here: scan as normal user and scan as Google. So when you scan as a normal user, that just means the connection from this application to your website is made using a normal Chrome user agent. So that's basically this application saying to your website, I'm a normal user using Chrome, and then your website should, in theory, serve up normal content. Now, sometimes when a website is hacked, certain server-side scripts will check the user agent. So that's the string of data that a browser sends to a server to tell it what it is. Is it a normal user on a phone? Is it a normal user on a desktop computer? They're using Firefox, Chrome, or are they Google crawling your website? Now, if you have this option selected here, this application will send the Google user agent to your website. And the reason you might want that is because if you do the site operator on Google followed by your domain, and you see lots of gambling content on web pages, but then you go to those web pages and that content isn't there, what might be happening is your website might have malicious code on the server, and it might be saying only serve up this spammy content if it's the Google bot crawling the website. So what this option here does is it pretends to be the Google bot, so the hacked code on your website will serve up the spammy content for us to detect, and then you can delete it. So we'll go through the other options here. So check for offsite redirects. So that will check for any 301, 302 server-side redirects. So that's when we crawl a page on your website, but it's redirected off somewhere else. So sometimes there's a legitimate use case for that. Or if you suspect your website has been hacked and people are saying they're finding spammy content, then what might happen is a user might load one of your pages from, say, Google or whatever, but then the malicious code that's been injected into your code on the server is sending those users off somewhere else to a spammy website or something. So yeah, that'll check for meta tag redirects and server-side 301, 302 redirects as well. Next, check for spammy or adult content. So we have a list of spammy words. Just a warning for you, click them. If you do decide to click them, they are quite, colourful. We also have a list of spammy words, and we can also add words to ignore. So perhaps you've got quite a salesy website, about insurance or something like that. Sometimes those words can be a bit spammy, so you might want to add the word insurance into your words to ignore. Now, when we're checking your website for spammy or adult content, how this application works is it will get all the words on your website compare them against our list of adult words and our list of spammy words, and then if it's over a set threshold of the default is 10%, then it will mark that page as having spammy or adult content. Now, as I said, if you have quite a salesy website, you might want to bump that threshold up from 10 to 20% or something, or use the words to ignore list, and you can actually edit the spammy and adult word list, but I'd leave those as they are, because in most cases there's no need to do that. So on to the next option, check for appended, prepended code on pages. So sometimes when a website is hacked, you'll have malicious code appended or prepended to the normal code that your users, the normal HTML your users are expecting to receive. And all that setting does is it checks to see, is there anything prepended or appended after what looks like the normal structure of your website? And if it does, it will flag it. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem. Sometimes there's legitimate uses for that. For example, you might have some sort of like monitoring software that will prepend a bit of JavaScript onto a page or something like that. But if you don't have any server configuration that you know of that's doing that, and you've got that option checked and it's finding pages, then it's something to look at. Check for links to spammy domains. So if you've got that option checked, whenever the application loads a page, it will also check all of the external links on the page, and it will download the HTML from those websites and check if they look adult or spammy. Check for foreign content. So sometimes, well, a lot of the time when a website is hacked, it will have what looks like Japanese, Chinese, Russian content injected into it. And if you have a website where you know all of the content is, English, and you have that checked, and then you're suddenly getting pages coming up that are saying, oh look, we found a bunch of foreign looking content here, then you know to check those pages for possible content that's been injected into your website. And finally, Google operates a safe browsing API and database. So what that is every time Google crawls a website or a web page, it will check to see if it looks like it's serving up anything malicious. And a lot of the time when a website is hacked, it will start serving up malicious content, like exe files and things like that to the users that land on that website. And Google's pretty good at detecting that. So if you have that option checked and then you start scanning the website and this application tells you that Google thinks there's some malware on your website, then you probably do have malware on your website, and that's certainly an issue that you'll want to look into. And finally, in the more settings, that's just somewhere where you can change the amount of threads that's used to crawl your website. If you've got cheap shared hosting, I'd leave it at default 2. If you've got a really strong server, it's your website, the website won't block your IP if you send lots of requests, and you've got a really good machine, then you can crank that all the way up to 300 if you want to crawl the website really quickly. And that's it, guys. So I'm sorry for not showing you the application running like we have done in literally all the other videos in the series. It's just unfortunately it's quite difficult to find a hacked website, and I wouldn't really want to run this application on someone else's website that's already been hacked. So and that's purely because they'll look in the server logs and see someone scanning the website, and it might freak them out. So but yes, it's completely free. Please download it if you think you've got some hack issue on your website, or someone's injected some spammy content, or your users are complaining they're seeing foreign text or something like that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want access to a database of over 100,000 websites that accept guest posters, then please check out Rocket Guest Posting. Thanks, guys.